Sarah, I want to talk to you about something that I've been using that I've been really appreciating and enjoying with this, kids, book, business, life situation that I have going on. As you and I both know, we have to just squish runs in anywhere, everywhere, but we also want to get the most out of it. You and I both are very driven people. We want to get our runs to the best of their ability. And for me, a lot of my runs end up being when I wake up first thing in the morning, I go straight out the door. And have you ever tried blackcurrant, the flavor?
I love it.
Oh my God, me too. Yeah. Blackcurrant is something in England for listeners. Blackcurrant is a berry, but it's like slightly tangy, slightly sweet. Is that how you would describe it?
Yeah, it's kind of like pomegranate-esque. It's really delicious. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, so I came across this product called 2Before, which is blackcurrant flavored. It increases your endurance, it helps you with inflammation, supports your immunity, but most importantly, comes in it comes in a caffeine and a non-caffeine version, so I can get this energy boost before my runs in the morning, or especially I'm sure you've had many of these afternoon squish-ins when you're already kind of a bit cooked, but you have to get a run in. And I've really been loving it, and I love that it is blackcurrant flavor, because that just makes it so easy to drink. It's enjoyable, and I know it's helping me, even though it's a pre-workout. So I want to have you try it out, because I think you're going to love it too, especially if you love that taste of blackcurrant. But I want to tell listeners, if you go to 2Before, the number 2before.com, and use code Tina, you can get yourself 30% off. I definitely encourage you to check it out. If you are stretched for time, squeezing your runs in, busy person who still wants to get the most out of your training, this is such a great product to have. So yeah, thanks for listening, Sarah, because I think you're going to love it.
I'm literally looking up on my phone right now. Thank you.
Love it.
All right, Tina, welcome back to our next For Real-Isode.
Yes.
All right, so this one is going to be a light one. I feel like we've had a couple of heavy ones in a row. So I just want to know, just because it'd be fun to hear you describe it, your favorite piece of furniture you've ever owned. This can be something from your childhood, something from now, just a piece of furniture that spoke to you or currently speaks to you.
Oh, that's a good question, because I obviously couldn't bring any furniture with me from home. And so can I count something that was mine in childhood that if I don't have it now, because
yeah, of course. I couldn't bring it either. I don't have mine either.
Yeah. Let me just think. Yeah, I think I probably would still choose that. Yeah, I had my bedroom growing up was very small. I picked the funny story. So when we moved into my parents' house when I was 5, I got to pick which room I wanted. There was a big room and a small room. I picked the small room because it had a mirror on the wall. It wasn't just a mirror. It was just a mirror. It was a very plain mirror. It didn't have a nice decorative border. It was a piece of mirror. And in the one corner, it had a hologram set of balloons. And I chose my bedroom because of those hologram balloons.
That's such a crazy detail. I love that. And I bet right now you can picture it.
I can, yeah.
So
I think
clearly.
It's still, I don't think they have it up, but I'm almost positive my mum still has it somewhere.
If she does, you're going to have her take a picture and post it in your stories.
Yes, no, let me see if she's got it somewhere accessible, or if it's even somewhere around. It might be. So I had a small room, so every piece of space was kind of taken up. So I had my bed in there, I had a shelf, I had a wardrobe, and I had my desk. And I would say my answer is my desk, and it was nothing too exciting in terms of the design of it, but the drawers were green. The desk was brown, but the drawers were this beautiful
felt.
Felt
is almost like a material that a pool table's made out of. No,
it was wooden, but just painted in this kind of pastel-y green, which I really loved that color. And I loved that I could sit at my desk. That was my place to work. And it just made me feel really grown up, having a desk and having a place to sit where I could do my homework and just be in my own little space. Look at my David Beckham poster on the wall. Who else did I have up on the wall? David Beckham was one. I don't know. That might be the only person I had on the wall. And yeah, I just really loved having that desk, and it just about fit in my room, as in like the door would graze the corner of the desk.
It always does. I don't know why they don't make furniture standard to slide in through a doorway. It baffles me.
Yes. So I think that is probably my answer. What about you?
Yeah. I was tempted to say like the desk I'm sitting at now, because that's where I've taken it across the country and written my books here, but it's not. So my dad, when he was growing up, he lived up in like almost like the attic area of his mom's small house in Portland. So he had like the orange shag carpet, and he had this really old set of furniture. And one of the pieces was this like vanity where it had like a stool that slid in and some drawers. And then it had this enormous round mirror. And so every time I went to my grandma's house and I saw that furniture up there, I said, Dad, like when grandma moves, I want that vanity that you grew up with. So eventually she moved into a home. And so my dad was like, hey, you want the vanity? It's yours. And that was the summer that I was moving to college. So I said, great, like I'm just going to take it with me up to college. So I took the vanity up to college and I moved it in with me. And I had it for 4 years, and it was the perfect place to like do makeup and all that stuff. But the thing that was really special about it was, so when I was moving from one apartment to the other in college, I was like, this vanity is just, I love it, but it's hard to move. Maybe I'll just try taking the mirror off and see if I can move it in like 2 pieces. So I noticed all around the mirror, there were these little screws. So I like went one by one and I unscrewed the screws, and then I pulled the mirror off, and shocker of shockers, it was not empty behind this mirror.
Wow.
So I pulled the mirror off, and there was stuck in there a photograph and a letter. And I was like, this is like my dream of dreams.
Oh my God. Yeah. Wow.
So I was just like, what is this? So I pulled it out, and it was a picture of a soldier, and he looked like he was wearing like World War I type uniform. And it was a letter from my grandmother's sister to her boyfriend in World War II, which was so it was World War II. And I was just like, this is insane. So I like called my dad, and I got to share this like piece of the family's history that I'd found that had been wedged in this thing for like 60 years and no one knew. Or maybe it was my great grandma. I can't even do the math. My dad still has the letter in the picture. I'll have to ask him if he can send me a picture of it. But that was one of the coolest things to find. Cause like if you're going through like a thrift shop and you see like letter and this and that, you know, it's cool. But to find it in like your own, your parents' furniture from like your own family, like that was incredible. It was, and this desk that I'm sitting at, it's great, but I have searched it for secret drawers and hidden photographs. There is nothing, I'm telling you.
Oh, that's amazing. And you know, there's a few things that come to that. One, my dad has my granddad's suitcase, and a lot of what's in it was letters that he and my grandma wrote to each other. She was in Germany. She was born and raised in Germany until she moved to the UK to live with him during the war. So like incredibly traumatic experience she went through to get out of Germany and into the UK. And, you know, God knows what kind of treatment she had when she was in the UK being German. Yeah. Well, she's actually Polish, but being raised in Germany. And so reading those letters between them was just like, honestly, one of the most beautiful things I could ever imagine. Like, anyway.
It makes me sad to think that like, that's no longer going to be something that our children, you know, understand.
Yes. And that was the other thing that I was going to say, is that like, it makes me wonder when people constantly, and I see this so often, just throw furniture out onto the side of their road to be picked up by the trash. Those things are lost forever. Yeah. Like there's so many of those that are probably just thrown out, like get rid of that thing. And those are lost, you know, no one will ever see those. And two, that like everything is made so cheaply now that there is no secret compartment. There is no this. It's like IKEA, and you get what you get. So
that's why it's like, I absolutely love to look through like ancient thrift store, antique stores for furniture and stuff like that, because it just has such a history, and it's always just made so much more, like so much better quality. You saying them throwing out actually reminded me of one last memory that I'll share, which is that we had growing up we just called it the brown chair. It was like this big old recliner that by the time we got rid of it, that thing was just super like threadbare. But by the time we put it on the street, we were like, oh, it's kind of sad. And my brother says, well, let's be honest, we all peed in it at least once. And we all looked at him like, we never peed in it. So some furniture, it's time. It was time for the brown chair to go.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So how many times did he pee in it then?
I did not ask, and I don't want to know. I really don't want to know. Because undoubtedly, I, by osmosis, absorbed some of that into my clothing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
horrifying.
Yeah, well, I mean, the amount of things we've probably absorbed into our clothing that are beyond pee is probably not one to think about. Sarah, that was a good one and a fun one. So thank you for that one. We'll see you next time.